that. Then we have Oregon versus Iowa. So this is interesting. I think this year, obviously the COVID season, I don't think teams are really as united as they would be in the past, and I kind of think it's more dependent on one player or two players that can kind of turn up and make a really big mark on the game, more so than years in the past. So Iowa's very interesting. I mean, Luka Garza is one of the better players in this entire bracket, and I think if he can get hot, this team can go far. But then again, if he gets contained, is Iowa going to beat Oregon, or what do we think? I'd like to lean Iowa, but
the problem is who's been able to contain Luka Garza this year?
Exactly, he's a walking double double. He's a baller.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Iowa. Then we got in the East, Michigan versus LSU, the 1 and the 8 seed. I like Michigan a lot. Obviously, dealing with a little bit of injuries. I think that they will pull it together. I think that it's a team that's good enough to overcome injuries and still beat.
I think that
LSU.
this is another one of those games that depends on how healthy they are coming in. If Michigan's at full strength, I think they win. If they don't, I think LSU takes it.
For sure.
I agree with that. I feel like LSU has an unreal offense right now here at the end of the season. So I mean, if Michigan doesn't have Livers back and they're going to need to rely on their guys to score more, I think this could be a shootout, and I feel like LSU might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a good one. I like that matchup a lot. Georgetown, this one I like a lot too. Georgetown and FSU, very very similar teams in terms of how their defense is. They pretty much allow the same amount of points, 70.7 to 70.3. In terms of points scored, though, FSU's got them beat by about 6-ish. This is a Georgetown team that it's
I
interesting.
want to go Georgetown.
I want to go Georgetown, but FSU, I mean, 16-6. They beat Virginia by 21.
They're hard to bet against.
They're hard to bet against. I don't think
My heart says Georgetown. My head says FSU.
I agree with that completely. I'm leaning Florida State. What about you, Jake?
Yeah, I'm leaning Florida State here too. I mean, listen, Georgetown's a good team, but they were playing pretty sloppy in the beginning, and I mean they're into form right now. I think Clement Hamilton and Florida, man, they know how to get it done, and I feel like they will here.
Yeah. So next up we've got obviously like we said Michigan State. If they win, UCLA. If UCLA wins, then we're most likely going back to BYU. But for now, we got MSU/UCLA in. We got them going against Texas, the 3 seed. This is interesting. We could see Michigan State going on a run, but also it's a little bit up in the air. If it is
Michigan State, I could also easily see them winning this game as well.
I could definitely see that happening, but Texas, this is probably the best team Texas has had in a while.
Yep.
I think I'm going to go Texas.
I like Texas, yes.
This is Maryland, Alabama. Now, we said this. We like Maryland, and we like UConn, too. We think that either team that wins that could definitely make a run and kind of surprise a lot of teams against Alabama. I think I could see Maryland beating Alabama here.
I agree.
What do we think?
No, I mean, listen, Alabama had that late push in the SEC tournament. They had Javon Quinterly, who, former Villanova player.
Yep, watched him play.
Yep. Oh, yeah, New Jersey kid, right?
Jersey,
yeah. He was a different breed in the SEC tournament. If he can keep that up in the regular tournament, this Alabama team is very different. But, I mean, it's going to come to a halt at some point.
And they do have Alabama has the SEC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, Herbert Jones, and the SEC Coach of the Year, Nate Oates. So that's something to work to. It's definitely a team that can play 24-6. In terms of what we think is going to happen, I think Maryland will come through with the upset. Baylor, coming in the South, you got Baylor versus UNC. Baylor is a team that puts up some of the best offense in the entire bracket, 84.5 points.
Yeah.
I think we got to roll with Baylor here, even though I could definitely see UNC making a move.
I agree. I think Baylor's the pick here.
Yep.
Then we got 12-4. We got Winthrop and Purdue. Like we said, I mean Winthrop's a team that's get a little slept on. 23-1. Not really any notable wins. They beat Furman by 16 and UNCG by 8.
Who's also in the tournament.
But compared to Purdue, I mean Purdue's played Illinois, Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Maryland, Rutgers, and Clemson. Those are a bunch of
and you see no games against top 25 opponents where Purdue
first
has
5 and
10.
5.
You know, they're battle tested. I think we got to go with Purdue.
Yeah, I think you're right.
choice
I think
here,
you're right,
yeah.
Purdue. Colgate and Texas Tech. I kind of like you said, Jake. You like Colgate a lot there. I actually think Texas Tech behind. I think, like I said, Stars kind of can dominate this tournament, and I think Mac McClung might just come out there, and he loves to dunk and he loves to be a baller, and kind of make it big on the big stage. I think he does that here, and I think he has a great tournament.
However,
I might right
as your
Texas
brother
Tech.
said earlier, Colgate might have the most depth offensively, so this is quite
Definitely
an interesting matchup.
but
Definitely a good matchup.
Yes, you can make that claim that they do put up 86 points per game, but it is Colgate.
Versus
remember.
who?
Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
While Texas Tech, I mean, they've lost to Baylor twice. They lost to Houston by 11. Lost to Kansas twice. I mean, these are a bunch of
1, 2, and
losses.
3 teams.
But these are
Yeah.
all top teams. I'm gonna go Texas Tech.
I think Texas Tech will win.
I agree. I think I do think Texas Tech will take it out and win this game. I just think they play more defense than Arkansas. That's why I kind of like the Colgate matchup in the first round. But listen, you never know with a hot hand. And if they win that first game, I mean, Texas Tech and Arkansas are sort of similar teams. They like to push the ball around and pace and play fast. So, I mean, if they have Arkansas's number, it's not out of the question that they might be able to take Texas Tech too.
Hey,
so
one thing,
keep that in mind, but I do like the Texas Tech pick.
One thing with March Madness is you never know. Anything can happen. Truly, we've seen it all.
2021. You never know what's going to happen.
2021. Who knows? Virginia Tech versus Ohio State. This one's interesting. I think Ohio State's a very, very good team. Like you said, probably the best 2 seed. I'm gonna ride Ohio State. Do we have any problem with that?
I have no problem with that.
Illinois versus Georgia Tech. Illinois balls out. I like Illinois here.
I like Illinois too.
Very good team. Tennessee versus Oklahoma State.
I think Oklahoma State
takes it. Like I said, I think Cade Cunningham's a beast, and I think they're gonna move far into this tournament. Then we got San Diego State versus West Virginia. I could honestly see San Diego State beating West Virginia.
I
here.
agree with that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. I mean, I think San Diego State, and then I like West Virginia, but there's just something about them that I don't like. I'm not too sure about. So, I mean, I feel like San Diego State has they have the experience with their players, and they have the veteran presence, and they have the defense. Man, I feel like this is a good matchup for them.
Yeah.
It'll be a good matchup in general.
All right, we got opposing opinions here from the other Jake.
We do have opposing opinions here. So, I am a biased West Virginia fan. However, West Virginia only loses tournament games because they don't show up offensively, not because of their defensive production. I think come tournament time, I would put West Virginia up against anybody in the country defensively because time in and time out, they've gone to Sweet 16s, lost to 3 seeds by 4 points, and it was all because their star players, instead of putting up 18, they put up 13 or 14. So I think against the San Diego team, I don't really see San Diego as the same type of team as a Duke would be in the past, whereas Kansas is going to be this year.
Right.
And I think West Virginia sees that. You know, West Virginia, a team who's all year played Kansas, played Baylor's, and played probably one of the toughest schedules in college basketball.
They're battle tested.
Right.
Yeah. I think for the sake of this,
Just one more thing. So I know West Virginia is the 3 seed, 3 seeds higher than San Diego State, but San Diego State's actually 7 spots ahead of them in the KenPom efficiency rating. So
and also 9 spots ahead in the BPI ranking. So yeah, I'm gonna ride San Diego State. We'll see if West Virginia wins this one, then Jake's got us beat. I think Rutgers Houston here. I like Houston a lot, like I said before. Let's move on to the Sweet 16. Gonzaga, Ohio. I think you got to go Gonzaga here. I don't see Ohio pulling out another one. As a 13 seed, Sweet 16 is a very nice spot to finish. Kansas, Iowa. Again, interesting. I think Kansas will come up with the game plan to quiet down Luka Garza as much as they can, and I think that Kansas will beat Iowa. Do we agree with that? The 3 and the 2 seeds. All right, let's roll. You got anything?
It's gonna be a great matchup again. I mean, it depends on the health of Kansas, but I mean, yeah, I kind of like Kansas here. I mean, Iowa's a good team, but eventually I can just see their run getting cut short before
Yeah.
the Elite Eight. So.
All right, let's roll. The East, we got number 1 seed Michigan versus Florida State. Michigan, again, if they're healthy,
Yeah.
I could see them riding their way right into the Elite Eight.
Mhm.
I'm going to ride Michigan here. Then we got Texas, Maryland. Now, this gets interesting again. Like we said, we kind of like Maryland.
Yeah.
But Texas puts up 75 points per game compared to Maryland's 68, and they both play pretty fairly decent defense. Now, this is interesting. I mean, in terms of what I'm going, I'd love to see a 10 seed get in, but if I'm talking realistically, it's hard to bet against Texas here.
Yep.
What do you think, Jake?
I really like Texas here. I mean, it was a good run for either UConn or Maryland.
I agree.
Whoever was in the spot. I had UConn actually in the spot, but either way, I think Texas is a hot team right now, and I love the story with Andrew Jones, and I really think they can make a nice run here to the Elite Eight. So I think this is where Texas takes off.
So right now we've got 2 1 seeds and 2 3 seeds advancing to the Elite Eight. We've got Baylor and Purdue. I like, this is another matchup. Baylor's 22-2, Purdue's 18-9. I think Baylor is a stud of a team this year. I see Baylor winning this.
Yeah, I agree.
Purdue puts up a fight, I think for sure, but I think Baylor will take this one. We agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Then we got Texas Tech, Ohio State. Like I said again, I think Ohio State's very, very good this year, even though they really don't do much in tournaments as of late. And I could definitely see Texas Tech, like I said, Mac McClung getting hot. But I think Ohio State is the team to roll with here.
Yeah, I agree. Ohio State's the best 2 seed in this tournament, so I think they make the.
Let's head to the Midwest. Then we've got Illinois versus Oklahoma State. Now, this one, this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
I want to take Oklahoma State so badly here.
I agree with you.
I want to take them so badly here, but it's hard to go against Illinois.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
Illinois
is dominant.
Illinois has been dominant. They're 4th in BPI rank, 7-3 versus top 25 teams.
I don't know.
81 points.
It's hard for me to not see an upset in here. I don't see one yet.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that too, and I think Oklahoma State's the team to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with that?
I just want to say I really, really, really love Illinois this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's very hard to get them against.
Yeah, I have them winning it all. So, I mean, it's obviously your guys' call. This could be an upset with Cade Cunningham, but, I mean, the way Illinois has played this year, I mean, this is a deep team that plays at least like 10, 11 guys that are all studs, and this could be their year. So, I mean, I like Illinois in this game, but, I mean, if there's going to be an upset, I mean, this is where it's going to be for Illinois.
Yeah, and I agree with that. If it's going to happen, I think this is where it comes.
If they're going to lose, I think it's here.
And I think it's here, and for the sake of this, let's ride with it. Then we got 6 seed San Diego State versus Houston, the 2 seed. Again, I think Houston plays the best defense in this bracket, and I'm going to ride with Houston here. I could really see them getting a dub here. You agree with that?
Yep,
I agree.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Then we got Gonzaga, Kansas. This is Elite 8 here. Now we're talking the big boys.
Yeah.
Kansas and Gonzaga. Gonzaga, I think, the Kansas is dealing with a bunch of things, health issues. I think to get it this far with the health issues is more than enough of a nod to how good they are.
Yeah.
But I think Gonzaga just overpowers them.
Yeah.
I'm going with Gonzaga here.
I agree.
You agree with that?
Yep.
Yes.
Michigan, Texas. Again, injuries, another issue.
Yeah.
I think there's a very good possibility that Texas could come out here and upset Michigan.
So do I. I mean, I think what Luka Garza's presence does, I think, Texas can match that with their guard play, and as of recent, it really showed in the Big 12 championship. So, I have Texas in this one.
Am I right, Texas? Let's do that.
I like Texas in this one as well. I have them up against Florida State, but I think even if they are up against Michigan, I think they will take this one. They're just a really, really deep team with good guard play, good big play. So.
All right, now we're heading over. We got Baylor, the 1 seed, versus the 2 seed, Ohio State. This is interesting. Again, another great matchup. Baylor is a phenomenal offensive team. They beat Illinois by 13. I think that says a lot. They beat Texas by 14. And they beat Texas Tech twice. Even they won once and lost once to Kansas. Whereas Ohio State, Lost to Illinois twice, beat them once. Lost to Michigan once, beat them once. Iowa once, and then lost again. So they've got some notable matchups. I think I'm riding with Baylor here, though. It's hard to go against Baylor with that offense.
I agree.
I just want to say that I think this Elite Eight matchup that between 1s and 2s, if it was all 1s or 2s, I think this would be the best matchup that you could make.
Yeah, I really like this matchup.
I really like this matchup a lot. In my bracket, I have Ohio State taking it because I have Illinois taking it on the other side, and I feel like Big East, Big Ten title rematch could make Ohio State really an interesting pick here. But I mean, I can't agree more with Baylor as well. So.
All right, I like that. Midwest now, Oklahoma State, our team, the 4 seed, versus Houston. Hard to go against
Houston.
To go against Houston here, but you look at it. Oklahoma State 9-5 versus top 25 teams. Houston is only 1-0, so it's definitely not out of the possibility here. Oklahoma State's beat Baylor once, lost twice. If we're riding with Cade Cunningham, I think we ride him till the fall, and I think we go Oklahoma State here.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
like
it.
that. I like that.
All right, now we got in the Final Four, we've got a 1 seed and a 3 seed in the West and the East, and in the South and the Midwest, we've got Baylor and Oklahoma State, 1 and a 4 seed. Gonzaga, Texas. Like I said again, hard to go against Gonzaga. It always is.
Yeah.
One guard, lights out shooter, but can also attack the paint. First team All-American. Jalen Suggs, who I think is the second best point guard in the country right now. He's second team All-American, as well as another guy, I forget his name, but he's also second team All-American. So I just think you can't bet against Gonzaga this year.
Hard to go against Gonzaga. We're gonna put Gonzaga right in the championship.
Agreed.
And then for the South and the Midwest, again we got Baylor and Oklahoma State. Now, how many times do you see a 1 seed and a 1 seed? I don't know. It's not very often.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that.
And I think this game too, because you have 2 Big 12 teams who have played each other multiple times this year. I think this game could literally be a coin flip. And
I agree.
I think on paper Baylor is a much better team than Oklahoma State, but I think it's going to be one of those things where will Oklahoma State's grit and determination beat the pure talent on Baylor?
And it's difficult. It says, seed fact. Number one seeds have won all 8 meetings with 4 seeds in the past 5 tournaments after going just 6-5 from 2011 to 2014. So that's a little fact with the 1 and the 4 seed here at the Final Four. I think it's hard to go against Baylor, even though Oklahoma State has done a lot. Baylor's gonna put up so many points.
I really want to take Oklahoma
Oklahoma State.
I can't see them winning.
I'm gonna ride Baylor. What do you think?
I think Baylor.
Yeah, I think we ride Baylor. We got a 1 and a 1 seed here. Odds of that happening, who knows? But anything can happen. It's 2021. We've seen it all. Now this is where it gets difficult. We got the 1 and the 2 BPI rank going up against each other. Gonzaga 92 points per game average. Baylor 84. Gonzaga 69 points per game, and Baylor 66. Very, very, very well ranked teams, and they're gonna be coming up, and it's gonna be if this is the matchup to end it, this will be one of the best matchups you'll see in years.
Yeah.
I think that these are probably the 2 favorites to cut down the nets. Along with Illinois, I'd say, and probably Michigan, all 4 1 seeds. But it's hard to go against Gonzaga here. I don't know. I think if I'm gonna ride with this, I think I gotta ride with Gonzaga. But Baylor's hard to go against as well.
Can I say a quick stat here?
Go ahead.
So the last time, you guys may have heard this, but the last time a team went undefeated and won the national championship was, I think, in 1976. It was Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
In that same year, that was the last time where Duke, Kentucky, and Louisville all missed the tournament. So it could be fate here for Gonzaga, and I think if they do make it to the final, I mean, they're the best team in college basketball. I think it could be destined for the second undefeated team.
I could really see that, and I think that's what will happen. Is that what we're riding with?
Yep.
I think so.
Let's go, baby, Gonzaga. Tiebreaker, throw a score out there. I think these are two very high-scoring teams. I'd say let's shoot for around maybe 82, 79, 82.
I don't know. Do they,
I mean,
championship game? Do they come out
Championship
tight?
game,
Or do they miss shots
I don't
early?
know.
I think the championship game, it really depends on the second half because I've never seen a final that's really, both teams just can't come out hot,
I agree.
When I think of this, I think of
Pretty performances.
like Dante DiVincenzo in the past.
Yeah.
I think of Grayson Allen. They all came out in the second half. So I don't. You're 82. I like it because I think Gonzaga could put up 82, but I would go a little bit lower just because there are going to be nerves and jitters.
I agree with that.
I could see something along the lines of 73-69, 73-68, something like that.
All right, let's ride 73. So what do we think? That Baylor loses by game
2.
winner by
I think they'll lose by 2 or 3, and then you throw in some
Some
foul
free
trouble,
throws,
free
yeah.
throws.
Yeah. All right, we'll go Gonzaga 73-70. When it hits, come to us with the money. We got the perfect bracket. But let's lock that in. And there it is. Jake, thank you for your insight. We appreciate it. Would love to have you on the show again. Any last words?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys having me. Congrats for starting the show and having some success early. And I'm excited to get back on here and join you guys again in some conversation. Hopefully, when the Mets are making a World Series run here. So
That sounds good.
Yeah, good luck, boys, and we'll talk soon.
All right, take
Thank
care.
you.
All right, well that is our bracket. Let us know who you have winning it all. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll be right back with doubleheader, second episode. Very excited for this next one. We'll see you then.